Breathing.
He's struggling to breathe.
Very seriously injured.
In some of the UK's most remote.
Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
There's just been an accident on the ep1 motorway. It's on fire and it's gone into the railway bridge.
Your life is on the line.
How far did he fall?
About 5 metres.
He's intubated and ventilated.
You need some of Britain's most elite medics.
Is there any serious bleeding?
Yes, there is, yeah.
Can't feel legs, anything below my neck.
We're in a remote location in the middle of a woodland. They've broken their back.
The speed of the Yorkshire Air Ambulance can make the difference between life and death.
Your discretion, take off.
FedEx 99 lifted.
Hey, Deskies, Tony.
At Helimed headquarters, paramedic Tony Wilkes is on the phone to the ambulance service control room. There's an emergency in Woodland on the edge of the Peak District.
Was that a good job, mate? Inside. Is it mountain biking? Yeah.
The rider is lying badly injured.
ARD will need mountain rescue for that probably as well.
Helimed 98 is off the ground in less than a minute. They'll be over the emergency scene in 10.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
We're in a remote location in the middle of a woodland. The patient has fallen off the bike. They're complaining that they've broken their back. They can't feel their arms and their legs.
Eyes out, around here somewhere. Yeah, looking.
Paramedic James Stubley is navigating today. The patient is in luck. James is a mountain rescue leader with an encyclopedic knowledge of the Peak District.
This road is where they'll access with the RRV, the road that runs in between.
The RV's just below us now.
Yeah.
Alright. Where, you know where the runs are?
There's roads both sides of the road, that's the trouble.
It's probably nearly 2 miles
Oh dear.
from the locked gate to where the patient is.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying that we might need the fire brigade to cut the lock off.
Right, okay.
They're flying over one of Yorkshire's most popular and dangerous mountain biking sites.
But on the far side near the car park, there's a lot of downhill black runs.
On the other side?
On the other side where the car park was going out, further out, yeah.
I can't see out at all.
But it's still not going to be easy to find the casualty. They only have vague directions from the 999 call to go on.
Do you want to put it down in that field below us and I'll ask them?
The woods below cover thousands of acres, and the team has few clues to the scene of the accident.
RRV just pulling up the car park, so...
It is tight left and right.
They are left up other than the trees.
Clear right, mate. It's very boggy underfoot.
Yeah.
Pilot Gary's touching down so paramedic Paul Holmes can ask other bikers if they have any clues.
Bit more firmer there, mate.
Okay to get out, Gary? Yeah, I'm just going to go to idle. I'll wait here for you, mate. Yeah, sound.
There is a field, but then there's quite a high gate.
Aye. Oh, we'll sort that out.
This guy seems to know where there might be a key.
It seems the man's lying on a gated track deeper into the woods. And worryingly, he's showing signs of paralysis.
Right, he's about 1.5 miles down that track. There's a cyclist going to go down the track to where he is. The track on our left-hand side? Yeah, where them people are. Okay, mate. No. Right, we have no wind, so I'm just going to go straight up, turn round and straight up here.
What's Bronze going to do? Is she going to go down?
Yeah, she's going to go as far as she can to try and get a key for the gate for where the patient is.
The key on Middlewood Station for it. I put it there myself. 4 years ago.
I don't want to say I told you so, but... Is that the cyclist there?
Yeah. Yeah.
You follow him, he'll take us to where he is then. Have I got to go at cyclist speed? Oh, there's someone waving now. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, not seen? In the tree line. Got the wires, they're staying in the logo and the wires.
This is Kurt from 98, visual routine, just looking to land.
Right, not to land on a rock, that's all. You've got some rocks to you right now. Yeah.
Gary's touching down as close to the accident scene as he can. From here on, the team's on foot.
Hey, are you alright? Oh, this is the one where we need the keys. Can I just give you that a second, mate, and I'll climb over.
At last, veteran mountain biker Rob Hobson is about to get the help he needs.
Must have been there over half an hour now then.
Yeah. Right, okay. What's his name?
Rob.
Rob. Hello, Rob. My name's Paul. All right, mate. Tell me what's happened.
Right, I've gone down that gnarly bit there, down towards the handlebars.
Okay.
Held it, and then it just gripped and then chucked me over the handlebars.
Right,
And
okay.
It just went head first, hit a rock straight on the top of my head.
His impact's here, look.
Right, yeah.
Right, so, and as soon as I hit that, literally my body went numb from the neck down.
Right, okay.
Felt like my head was just rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
Couldn't feel legs, anything below my neck.
Right, okay.
And then now I've been laid here a bit. Obviously, look, I can wobble my feet.
Sure, yeah.
And I can start to move them. But I've just got massive burning pins and needles in like my shoulders, across my chest, this arm.
Right. So is it across your front more than your back, is it?
Yeah, I think so. It's
Right,
just,
okay.
it's these arms just feel dead.
Rob's symptoms are very serious. Pins and needles are a classic sign of a spinal cord injury.
We'll get your helmet off in a few minutes, Rob, but I wanted to give you a quick assessment, mate.
Right.
Obviously, your job is to make sure you don't move his head.
One wrong movement could kill their patient. Paul knows the impact could have caused other severe injuries. He wants to rule out other problems before dealing with Rob's spine. And the most critical stage in this rescue is about to begin. Paul must remove Rob's helmet and straighten his neck. It's a risky procedure, but it's got to be done. It's an old joke, but the Yorkshire Dales really can experience 4 seasons in 1 week. After a few days of sunshine, snow and ice are causing treacherous conditions on the roads.
What we got? Okay, cheers, mate. Driver unconscious.
Now there's a serious accident. The flight to the outskirts of Harrogate will take 15 minutes from their base in Topcliffe.
Alpha traffic, Canamid 9 and Alpha engine mode start, outbound Harrogate.
9 and Alpha, taking up your discretion, present position, surface of 20011, crossover runway.
Pete Rhodes is the lead paramedic today. With over 20 years' experience, he's seen hundreds of car smashes. And he knows accidents involving trees are among the most serious. Crumple zones and airbags can do little to protect drivers or their passengers. More information is coming through from the emergency services already at the scene. With winds gusting to 40 miles an hour, it's going to be a bumpy ride for pilot Ian Musette, along with his navigator and paramedic Leon Baranowski.
I'm trying to get the right amount of pedaling, we're flying a little bit out of balance at the moment.
The aircraft is getting buffeted from side to side. Ian's working hard to keep it on an even keel. Landing can be the most difficult part of the flight, even without high winds. As they approach the accident scene, extreme precision will be required to get the air ambulance down safely. The driver and passenger are injured and trapped, but with the car in such a precarious position, firefighters must secure it before the patients can be taken out of the wreckage.
It's come off the road at speed and it's managed to trap itself between some hedgerow and trees and things, so access is quite difficult. We've also got a ditch full of water, so access is quite an issue at the moment. We've got plenty of personnel on site, crews from ambulance and from fire service, making sure all the times that this vehicle is stable because it's part in the air, so we've also attached it to the trees using some of our strops to maintain that stability for the casualty and also for the crew's safety.
With the car secure, the firefighters' priority is to get the passenger, who's called Natalia, safely out. Pete suspects that both she and boyfriend Martin may have spinal injuries. This must be a delicate procedure.
Looking at what could have happened, car versus trees at 42 miles per hour, it looks like they've probably been relatively quite lucky.
Both Natalia and Martin are Polish. English is a second language.
Language difficulties can cause quite a few problems when you're trying to assess patients. In trauma, though, it's relatively easy because you can usually see where the problem is, or at least find easily where the problem is. In medical patients, it takes a little bit more in terms of investigative questioning. Then it's a lot harder to do. The ambulance service does have a setup for that. We can use an interpreter through a language line, but the process of getting all of that in place whilst on scene can be quite lengthy at times. So usually we do our best to muddle on through and just go with the stock words and the stock hand signs.
Stay still, Martin. Martin. Nice and still for me, my friend. We've got a blanket coming over to keep her warm now.
Like Natalia, Martin needs to be brought out of the car horizontally to avoid damaging his spine. The high winds mean that for once, both casualties will have a smoother ride going to hospital by road.
That seat will fold down with a polo. That boot's going to get unbolted. He will literally go straight out of there if you want him to.
Perfect, yeah.
Everything is geared up at the back. Do you want to look at the space at the back? Because if you're happy, we'll go with it. I'll just show you now.
Hey, that's 21. All patients are going to be going by road to Harrogate, so we're not going to be conveying anyone.
As Natalia is taken to the ambulance, the tricky procedure of getting Martin onto a spinal stretcher is underway.
Can you get us another extrication ball, please, mate, for getting this? Yeah. We'll slide him out. It'd be easier to slide him out than that, that's all.
If Pete's suspicions of a spinal injury are correct, one false move at this stage could leave the patient paralysed.
Trust us. Yeah, you've got to relax and trust us. We practice this a lot, okay?
Deep in the woods, on the edge of the Peak District, 49-year-old mountain biker Rob Hobson is lying critically injured. His neck is feared broken.
I just heard quite a loud noise going down the slope. Yeah, I just went to see if he was okay, and he was complaining that he kind of couldn't feel his arms and his legs, so obviously quite serious, so I just called the ambulance.
Are you comfortable as best as you can be? Because I don't want to move you just because there's a rock just at the minute. There's no pain in your stomach, is there?
He thought he couldn't feel his legs or anything like that, but we saw him moving his legs. We just tried to calm him down, really. He kept sort of saying, "It's bad, mate, it's bad." It's a bit of a worry.
In a few minutes, once we've just done your blood pressure, Rob, we're going to sort you out, mate. All right. How old are you?
It was a sort of consensus talk earlier on that we said we're not going to do anything too silly. And, you know, it happened.
Paul and James are going to need help from Mountain Rescue to move their patient.
MRT are about 5 minutes off.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just getting him a grid now.
That's fine. What we're going to do then, obviously, because we don't know what's happened to you, your neck particularly, and because you've got this loss of sensation, numbness and what have you, as you're probably already thinking, we're going to treat you for worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I'll carry on physically, just going to give you a quick once over, just to make sure we're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, we don't want you to do anything, but if you get any pain, shout us. Are you ready, mate?
Paramedic Paul must now remove Rob's helmet. A mistake now could kill their patient. James is holding Rob's head rigid, but the next stage is even more critical.
Right, Rob, we're going to have to straighten your neck slightly. There's no C-spine tendons. We're going to go to you, so you're looking to your right. So I'll do it.
Look towards Al.
All right.
Straightening Rob's neck is necessary, but fraught with danger.
You just keep your head nice and still. You can let go now, mate. Yes. Nice and slow.
Can you move
How's
that
that?
right arm, boss?
Limited movement.
Rob's life is in the team's hands.
Yeah. So you've still got no pain in your neck?
No.
Fantastic. Slow, you've been nice and steady. You're doing really well there, Bob. I know it's uncomfortable, mate.
Yeah.
All right, and I know it's quite scary.
You don't think I do?
No,
So just bear with us.
At last, it's done. Now they can protect Rob's neck with a surgical collar. A mountain rescue team has arrived.
Hiya, mate, all right. Just going to be from your guys' point of view, some hands when we transfer him, but probably just a bell stretcher just to get him back up to aircraft.
Right, we've got plenty of hands here.
It's fine.
But getting Rob to the chopper won't be easy. He's come off on a very steep track. Mountain Rescue are going to provide the manpower the team needs.
If we're all set.
This is going to be uncomfortable, Rob.
Okay. Ready to lift.
Yeah, ready.
And lift. Oh. That's good. That's all good. And we're there.
Good enough.
And down, call it.
Ready to lower.
Yeah.
And lower.
We'll get your head up in a minute, boss, as well.
We've just scooped him up now. Mountain Rescue are just getting him out on one of their stretchers. To be honest, we've got plenty of hands, actually.
I'll leave the lock to the gate on it, or not lock it, so that we can access out over.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks for your help, Doug.
These guys are now going to carry up this track. We're going to get you to the aircraft, and then we're going to fly you to Sheffield. So it's only going to be the shortest flight on record, probably.
Yeah.
All right, but we'll get you there smoothly, at least. Yeah. All right, mate.
Hi, it's Helimed 98. We've got a trauma call feeder, please.
It's less than 2 hours since Rob arrived in the woods on a day trip from his home in Lincoln. Now he's on his way to a lengthy stay in hospital.
Hi, it's Paul, one of the paramedics of the air ambulance. Called a 49-year-old male. He's come down quite a distance along a rocky path on his bike. He's come over the handlebars and landed head first onto a rock.
Even for the seasoned mountain rescue team, it's been a tricky operation.
Well, it just demonstrates how difficult it is. Even though it's a short distance, it is quite, difficult, especially with the underground conditions and the kind of injury the chap had as well, potential injury the chap had.
We need to go feet first.
Accidents in Warncliffe Woods are common, but they're rarely this serious or this far off the beaten track. The team's flying Rob direct to the Sheffield Northern General Hospital, 10 miles away. It's the regional trauma unit.
Element 982, air desk on approach, Northern General. On the old into hover, high hover, just about to blow away.
Oh lad, look at him, sheltering behind building, bless him.
How's that feeling? Is it coming back?
A little bit, but it just really burns in my elbows and
in your elbows.
Shoulders.
The team know the outlook for their patient could be bleak. Rob's about to undergo CT scans and X-rays to determine the extent of his spinal injury.
It's quite a significant mechanism of injury, so it's ideal really for the hospital staff to be able to see what's happened on the external side, so they can get an idea about what's happened internally. If good to road traffic, and generally it's quite good for them to take the helmet. Although obviously, as you can see from the top of the helmet, there's not a lot of damage, it doesn't necessarily mean there hasn't been quite a big impact.
The next few hours could change his life forever. On the outskirts of Harrogate, paramedic Pete and the fire crew are attempting to safely extract an injured driver from his wrecked car. He left the road and ploughed into some trees. The team suspect a spinal injury.
For your information, we're just going to take the back seats out now. All right, Martin, so there's going to be a little bit of noise and banging behind you, but it's all something that we have to do, OK?
Fire up the talk, Steve.
Yeah, somebody talking to
They must get him on a spinal board and bring him out horizontally to avoid further injury. But there's a tree wedged against his door, so the safest way out is backwards.
We've removed the door from the passenger side, we've also removed the tailgate. What we're intending to do now we've removed the back seats, is to lower the seat for the driver and then stretch the casualty out the back.
OK guys, you can lower it. Right, can we get two of your guys just sort of at our shoulders to get the head and we'll bring him down?
This is going to be a delicate operation.
The bridge is going to be quite awkward, yeah. Depends how far back they can get him. He's lying down now. I don't think his feet aren't traps.
That's it. Good man, Martin. You're doing really well. Right, Martin, now we're friends. We're going to grab onto your legs, OK? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, slide. Rest.
We've got him down there.
Same again. On slide. 1, 2, 3, slide.
This procedure is slow and careful for good reason. If Martin has damaged his spine, any sudden jolts could cause permanent damage and paralysis.
Rest there. It's right elbow, just ajar on the plastic.
Gonna carry on with slide, OK? 1, 2, 3, slide. OK, that's it. OK, one more. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
On slide. 1, 2, 3, slide. Brilliant. OK, guys, thank you. There we go. I've got him there. Somebody come and feed in there. Brilliant. And down. Perfect. OK. Nice and still. Lovely. Okie dokie. Let's get some blocks on you. Just because you've had a bit of a do, you're not quite sure what's happened.
Martin was travelling back from a weekend away in the lakes. Now he's facing possible surgery to his back or neck. But his injuries aren't his only worries.
Can you pass me my phone, please, yeah?
Your what?
My phone.
All right, we'll sort that in a minute, yeah?
All right.
We'll sort it out, don't worry, mate.
Relax for now. Let's get you in the ambulance and we'll get everything sorted.
Time in a flight.
Right still.
May I put it in my pocket?
No, I'll sort it. I'll give it to you in the ambulance, okay?
Thank you.
Don't worry, we're surrounded by coppers, mate. No one's going to nick it. Steady, steady, lift. Marvellous. Your feet first.
He'll be taken by land ambulance to join Natalia at the nearby Harrogate Hospital. This might be a life-changing accident for both of them. Scans on their spines are already scheduled.
Mate, that's just arrived at patient side then.
Exactly what to do next.
The team's patient is a veteran walker, stranded on a treacherous footpath along the edge of the moors.
You normally fitting well? Yeah. So you've not been knocked out, you can remember everything that's happened to you? Yeah.
Judith Moore is in agony and dangerously cold.
We're coming up.
And the team fly into an isolated farm to rescue a tractor driver injured in a freak accident.
This chap was with her. He thought she was dead. So.